You won't believe how quickly it all fell apart for a rising Hollywood star. In the late 80s and early 90s, Jonathan Brandis was everywhere. Teen heartthrob, rising talent, fan favorite. It looked like he had the world at his feet. But behind the magazine covers and TV screens, Jonathan was fighting a battle few people saw coming. And by the time the world realized just how deep it went, it was already too late. Born in April 1976 in Connecticut, Jonathan started working almost before he could talk. His parents saw his star potential early. They had him in print ads at age 2 and on TV commercials by 4. By 6, he had a recurring role on the soap One Life to Live. Not many first graders can say they've held down a steady acting job, but Jonathan could. The family went all in on his career. They left Connecticut and moved to LA, chasing bigger dreams. And for a while, those dreams came true. Jonathan landed guest spots on hit shows like The Wonder Years and Full House, gradually climbing the ladder. His sweet face and charisma made him a natural in front of the camera. But he wanted more than to be the cute kid. He wanted real roles, real acting. So when producers began casting for the NeverEnding Story II, a sequel to the 1984 fantasy hit, Jonathan saw his chance. Hundreds of kids auditioned, but he landed the lead role of Bastian Balthazar Bucks, the lonely boy whisked into a magical world. It was a huge step up, and it proved he could carry a major film. Even with the pressure of a fast-moving set and limited rehearsals, Jonathan delivered. And although the movie didn't break box office records, it gave him serious momentum. That same year, he starred as young Bill Denbrough in the TV adaptation of Stephen King's It, which he later described as the hardest role of his life, especially getting the stutter right. But again, he nailed it. Then, in 1993, Jonathan's career exploded. He was cast as Lucas Wolinchak, a teen computer genius on seaQuest DSV, a futuristic show set on a high-tech submarine. Produced by Steven Spielberg and airing on primetime TV, the show was a hit, and Jonathan became the breakout star. Teen girls across the country tuned in just to see him. Fan mail came in by the thousands every week. Studio security had to escort him off set to avoid the crowds. He was just 17 and already living a life most actors only dream of. But even then, the attention overwhelmed him. In interviews, he came across as shy, even a little unsure of how to handle the fame. He once said, "I never thought I'd be the teen magazine kid." He loved acting, not the hype. Still, he stayed grounded, mostly thanks to the people around him. Co-star Roy Scheider called him mature for his age, except when it came to dating, joking that Jonathan definitely used his fame to meet girls. By 1995, Jonathan was dating Fresh Prince of Bel-Air actress Tatiana Ali. They'd met at a Halloween party a few years earlier, but didn't start dating until she turned 16 and he was 19. The media latched onto them instantly. Two teen stars, both in the spotlight? It was tabloid gold. But like any young relationship under a microscope, it had its share of strain. And things were getting tough professionally too. seaQuest started strong, but the show was a mess behind the scenes. Producers quit, storylines shifted, and cast members dropped out. By season 2, NBC had relocated production from Los Angeles to Orlando. Jonathan stuck around, and he even got to write an episode, a rare honor for a young actor. But the constant changes wore everyone down. Ratings dropped, and midway through season 3, the network pulled the plug. That should have been a setback, not a death sentence. Jonathan still had fans, talent, and industry respect. Over the next few years, he kept working. He appeared in indie films, TV movies, and eventually landed a role in Outside Providence and Ride with the Devil. Smaller parts, but steady work. Then the drought hit. His next project, Bad Girls from Valley High, got stuck in limbo and didn't see release for years. In 2001, his 6-year relationship with Tatiana ended. And in 2002, he got what looked like his big break again. A role in Hart's War, starring Bruce Willis and Colin Farrell. But when the final cut came out, Jonathan's scenes had been reduced to a single deleted scene. That crushed him. He'd poured so much into that role, hoping it would be his big return. Instead, it felt like another door slammed shut. Friends say that's when he really started to spiral. He drank more. He was anxious, restless, and worst of all, deeply uncertain about his future. Still, he tried to bounce back again. In 2003, he landed a part on a new TV pilot called 111 Gramercy Park. The show had a strong cast, including TV legend Tippi Hedren and Family Matters' Jaleel White. Jonathan played one of the main roles, and once again, he was hopeful. But even during filming, his nerves showed. White later said Jonathan asked him over and over if he thought the show would get picked up. It didn't. Now 27, Jonathan had been acting for 25 years. And still, the future looked uncertain. Then came what should have been a final turning point. He filmed Puerto Vallarta Squeeze, playing a CIA hitman opposite Harvey Keitel. Everyone on set praised his performance. Keitel himself said repeatedly, "This kid is good." In the editing room, people were convinced Jonathan was back. Only, he didn't believe it. He'd been here before, thought he'd made it, only to be cut or ignored. That cycle of hope and disappointment had taken a toll, and no one saw just how badly he was hurting. On November 11, 2003, Jonathan was found unconscious in the hallway of his LA apartment. He'd taken his own life. Paramedics rushed him to the hospital, but the damage was too severe. The next day, he was gone. The reaction was one of total disbelief. Friends and co-stars mourned publicly. Soleil Moon Frye, a longtime friend, admitted later that she felt guilt. She hadn't truly listened when he opened up. His ex, Tatiana Ali, was shocked, and at first, even angry. But more than anything, people were devastated that someone so talented, so loved, could feel so alone. Years later, Jonathan's father spoke out. He didn't blame Hollywood. He blamed something even harder to fight: undiagnosed mental illness. He believed Jonathan may have suffered from bipolar disorder, and the signs were there in hindsight. The mood swings, the highs and crashing lows. Jonathan's final film, Puerto Vallarta Squeeze, came out in 2004, and Bad Girls from Valley High finally saw release in 2005, direct-to-video. But his true legacy isn't just in those final roles. It's in the fans who still remember him, the friends who still speak his name, and the family who still misses him every day. His dad says he still talks to him. "It makes me smile," he said. "I get the feeling he's looking down at me." And maybe he is, because even though Jonathan Brandis is gone, his story still matters. His talent was real, his struggle was real, and his life reminds us all, no matter how things look on the outside, you never know what someone's really carrying. If you've made it this far, thank you for listening to his story. If it moved you, consider sharing it. And if you or someone you know is struggling, don't wait. Reach out. Help is out there. And hope is real. Be kind, be present, and we'll see you in the next story.